Hello, welcome. My name is Cecil Zeringue with Empower Yoga, and today we will do a little hip sequence, probably about 15 minutes or so, where we activate our legs. We don't let them touch the ground, so there's some core engagement into it, but we really explore into the leg rotations and the movements of the spine into the pelvis, and so it should be pretty enjoyable, but also building a little bit of strength along the way. Start out on your back. Let's do a couple cleansing breaths. Inhale and exhale. Allow the shoulders to soften, and more importantly, allow the hips and the sacrum to kind of flatten down onto the earth, kind of like the settling of paint. Imagine that paint is layering down and just over time and gravity, you soften and release. Take your heels out wide, toes pigeon foot a little bit, knees together into constructive rest position, right? So you can do this pose for 15 minutes. If you want to pause the video, you can sit here, give yourself more time into the pose. So allow yourself to release. And when you're ready, bring the feet back to neutral. And then slowly start swaying the knees from side to side. But really go extra slow, right? Bring the left knee over onto the knife edge of the left foot, and the right knee kind of follows in. Bring your arms out wide to give you a little bit more stability. Let's stagger the movements of the legs and the knees. So it's almost like you're rolling from gravity onto the glutes, and it should feel really good. A few more times. And bring your hips back to center, back to neutral. And draw the knees into your chest. Bring the hands on top of the upper shins, right below the kneecaps. Good. And as you hug the knees in, I want you to counter resist with the sacrum being on the ground. So as a kind of hug in, you're going to bring the sacrum right back down. So there's a resistance in the movement, and it might kind of be like a subtle rock up the pelvis. Good. Might feel like the knees are becoming closer towards the underarms. Now, let's create little circles. Drawing in and then come up, wide. Inhaling, so the movement, let's correlate the gentle movement with your breath. Inhaling, exhaling as the knees come into the chest. Inhaling as they become long. Let's reverse direction. So inhaling as the heels move back. Exhaling as you're coming around. So feel like you can sense the femur head right into the pelvis, into the socket. And these circles are kind of ungooking, unsticking the mobility and the mobility range, the range of motion of the legs. Good. Now let's release the hands to the sides and extend the right leg forward. So we're going to keep it hovering, but you're also pressing that right thigh down. Good. And then let's switch. Right knee comes in, left leg goes long. And then you keep them above the ground. Switch again. One more time. Left leg goes long. Good. Now right leg goes long, and then bring the left heel right into the groin area. Good. Now, slowly bring the right heel in towards the left knee. And then let's bring this over to the right. Good. Back to center. Some of you can probably get into a lotus pose here, but I'm not at that point. So when we go over to the right now, so you have this external rotation of the right leg. We're going to bring it back to center and start to internally rotate the right leg as you bring the left thigh down. So it's almost like the right foot is remaining in the same space. Maybe not, but it's just an idea. So external rotation of the right thigh. And then you come here, you can feel the neutral rotation and slowly moves to the internal rotation of the right thigh. Let's bring it back to center. Extend the right leg long, left leg comes to neutral. And now we switch. And bring the right heel right into where the groin is or the inner thigh. And slowly draw the right heel in. So it might be all you have here. It doesn't matter. Your range of motion is going to be way different than anybody else. So we're going to slowly move to the right, very gentle. And then slowly move the left thigh to your left. Good. Now we're going to begin adding the extra rotation, neutral rotation of the left leg, and then internal as the right thigh comes down. Back to center, and then the right heel comes towards sits bones of the thigh. You can even try to tighten up the bind here. Back to center. Neutral rotation. Now bring the heel out wide as the left knee goes in. Inhale, neutral. And then exhale, twist. Let's do one more. Inhale, neutral rotation. Exhale, internal rotate. And then back to center. Extend the left leg long. Good. And the knee right. Bring both knees in. And then bring the feet up to the sky. So we'll spend a little bit of time just into this waterfall shape. Letting the gravity of the legs sink the femur bone in. So it's really kind of encasing the femur head. Now slowly create little circles with the legs extended. And you can start bringing the circles wider if you like. Good. And then reverse. Maybe tighten up the circles. Go bigger, like you're spiraling, right? Out of control. But spiraling while in control. Try not to lift the sacrum off the ground. Now pause here and bring your feet into Charlie Chaplin, toes to touch, and try to wiggle out the rotations of the thigh. You may have one leg that seems to have a greater range of motion than the other. Hips may be imbalanced or different. You might have one leg higher to the sky than the other. It's all good. All good. Now let's bring the feet into a happy baby here for a moment. Oh, back up. Let's do it again. Back up. And then bring the heels down to the ground. Let's give yourself a little moment of rest. This could be a lot of work in the core, in the psoas muscle, thighs. Good. Now, bringing the feet back up into happy baby, we're going to circle the legs around into eagle legs, and then switch. Right leg comes on top, right thigh wraps around. Maybe there's a double wrap in here. Good. Release, come back around into space. Right thigh under, left thigh on top. And unravel. Bring the right leg on top of the left. Good. Now pause and hold. And then slowly rotate the shins over to your left. So you have this twisting action going on. So the hands can come out wide. You try to keep the shins hovering. Good. So it takes a little more work here. Slowly roll the shins back to center. Unravel. Bring the right thigh under the left. Double wrap if it's in your repertoire. And then slowly bring the shins over to the right. So we're going to move to the point where you're controlling it, not plopping down. Gaze over to the left hand. And then bring these back to center. Good. And then release. Get yourself back to center. Okay. And now the feet go back up to the sky. And slowly bring them out wide. And just play with the rotations as the legs go wide. So we're going to have the external rotation. The wider you go, and then gently bring them, lower them down, and internally rotate them as you bring them together. So you're hovering, and draw it back up. Inhale, go wide, externally rotate. Exhale. Inhale, internally rotate, and then exhale, come back up. Let's do that again. Wide. Feel the burn. Back around. And then back up. Good. Let's try that in reverse. Lower down. Hover. Come back around. Externally rotate. And then bring them back up. Good. And then bring the heels towards the sits bones. And then lower back down. Let's bring your legs back up to the sky. Just feel the soles of your feet press onto the ceiling. Good. and then soften any grip into the pelvis area. And slowly lower the left heel to hover. Good. And then draw the right thigh over. So just go over about a foot or so, keeping the right hip on the ground. Bring the arms out to help create stability. And then the right leg back to center. Pressing the left thigh down, extend and externally rotate the right leg. And it might not go as far as you would when you have a strap. Feel the external rotation of the right thigh, and then bring it back up to center, and then switch sides. Right heel hovers, press the upper thigh down. Notice that the glutes are doing the work. And then draw the left leg over just about a foot, pressing through the back heel, but peg that left thigh down, left sit bones into the ground. Don't let it come up. And then from here, open up the gate. Feel the external rotation. Isometrically, the left heel is moving towards the right. Get back up to center. Right leg meets the left. And then lower the feet back down to the ground. Slowly bring the feet up to knee height. So we're like in a chair pose, right? Good. Elongate the left leg. Bring the right ankle across the left knee. So keep the left leg covered. Press the thigh towards the ground. Good. Now draw the knee in. And so we're actively keeping the feet from falling down. So we got to keep the core activation. Draw the knee in. And then let's lift it one more time. Let's bring the left knee back in. Good. Now, let's switch sides. Back to chair pose with the legs. Cross the left ankle over as you lengthen the right leg. Bring that left knee down, pressing, but you're still hovering the right leg. And slowly bring the right knee back up. All right, so keeping it all active. So these are usual, half pigeon, reclined half pigeon pose. The difference is we're just not keeping the right foot on the ground. Can we activate and also release at the same time? Lengthen. And then exhale, bring the knee back up. So can we relax in this pose, even though it's active? Good. Straight right leg to release. Lengthen the left leg and bring the right heel right into the groin and point the right knee straight down. So keep the left leg active, hovering, and you're adducting the legs in, internally rotating the left leg and the right thigh. Have the knee hugging down. And then let's switch. Right leg goes forward, the heel comes into the groin like a half lotus. Straighten the legs. Bring the knee, so you're externally rotating the left thigh, but the right thigh is neutral and gently internally rotating. And then step the right foot in and release back down. Good. Now, bring the hands over your head. Roll the knees over to one side. Well, thank you for joining me in this little exploration of range of motion and while using core activity to go a little deeper and with controlled movement into the hip area. So thank you again. For now, We'll see you guys around. Namaste.